Classic Car and Driver, a look back at the machines of our automotive past.
Volkswagen literally means people's car, and it's well known that Adolf Hitler himself pushed for what we would come to know as the Beetle. But as Germany began rebuilding after the war, it would be nearly 7 more years for the people's car to truly make its way to the United States. In 1952, the Volkswagen was a complete departure from anything the American car-buying public was used to. First, there was its shape. The first models had cleaner, longer lines than what we now think of as the classic Beetle shape, especially the roofline. Also, the fenders were longer and raked in the front and in the back. The nickname split window obviously came from the separate panes of glass in the rear. There were 2 panes because German glass makers couldn't yet make curved glass, but they were creative. The driver and passenger's windows have a unique approach to ventilation.
They just put a little S-cut in the front corner, and you just cracked your window down. There's your ventilation. When you didn't need it, the whole thing went up into the channel of the door.
The power plant was also a radical departure with its 1131 cc's of horizontally opposed air-cooled engine making 25 horses and 49 pound-feet of torque. It could push the VW to a top speed of about 65 miles per hour, but getting around with its gearbox could be difficult. The 4-speed gears were straight cut and first gear was not synchronized.
So you got to either double shift them like the old trucks do, or you've got to come to a complete stop, synchronize it by pulling it back into second and then going back into first.
Hydraulic brakes were available in 52, but some actually had cable brakes with a cable running to each wheel. And at the end of those cables sat 16 by 5.5 wheels with tubed bias ply tires, which could make handling a little questionable.
You kind of will get white knuckles going around a turn because the car has a tendency to kind of like slant or sway as you go around a turn, even at low speeds.
Another incredible aspect was the Bug's pop-out turn signals, called semaphores. These were standard throughout Europe, but not a lot of people in the States saw them due to DOT regulations. Designed to seat 5, 4 adults have enough room to ride comfortably, and the interior was covered in colorful fabrics. And another innovation was the accelerator. It had a roller on the end rather than a typical flat pedal. Original prices in 1952 were in the $1,100 to $1,200 range. But by mid-1953, Volkswagen nixed the rear split window, adding a slightly larger oval window. Due to relatively small numbers of original Beetles, perfect examples of the split window bug can now go for nearly $50,000. Now that's a lot of money for an automotive icon with more than 20 million copies made. But then again, very few of those were split window.